was asked to come here and speak, I felt very uncomfortable, because I'm thinking, here you have many men who are in very powerful relationships, relating to their spouses in this way. What can another man add to this discussion? And so I thought maybe what would be good is we took some time to listen to a story of a survivor of marital rape. Now, I want to just say a little bit before I show you this short video clip. This video clip is one of 14 put together, designed as a training package to train magistrates and judges in the US to advise them on what victims go through, so that as they think about sentencing, they could be a little bit more mindful of the human aspects of the crime. I think sometimes we think a lot about the legal aspects of the crime, but what about the human aspects of the crime? And this is a story of a woman's experience of sexual abuse in her own marriage by her own husband.
I am a victim of domestic violence, and I think the thing that was the hardest to realize was that I really was a victim. My ex-husband was very controlling, very isolating from friends, family, church. He monitored my coming and going. He didn't let me talk on the phone. My family was stupid, and I was stupid, and the things that, the apartment that I lived in that he moved into with me, it was stupid. Everything wasn't up to his par, including me. And so, I was constantly in a race with myself to see, what I could do to make it better or fix it. And it just kind of snowballed from there. And the crux was when they threatened to have me killed. You could put on your social face when you were outside, but the thing that was most frightening was I was literally afraid to go home at the end of the day. Work was a comfortable setting, church was a comfortable setting. Nobody was going to do anything. But then you get in your car to go home and you start having panic attacks. The daily impact, once he threatened to have me killed, it was like you were outside looking in. Because by the time that happened, I wasn't really talking to my family because I had pretty much pushed him by the wayside. They didn't like him or how he treated me because they could see it. Of course, I was too involved in the relationship to see. And so there was nobody to go to. I kept thinking in the back of my mind that domestic violence happened to somebody else. On TV, it's some other person or some other background or lifestyle or age of a person. I didn't think that it would be happening to me. You go through the whole realm of emotions. One minute you're mad as a hatter that you allowed yourself to do this or that he did it to you. And the next minute, you're so glad and relieved that you're out of it. He was sexually abusive. And I think of all of it, that was probably the most painful and still probably the hardest to get past. When you're in a relationship with somebody that you love and they use sex forcefully, it's devastating, it's demoralizing. I've gotten to the point where I know I'm better off without him, and I'm moving forward. Me being a victim of domestic violence has really affected my whole entire family and friend structure. For the longest time, it was the elephant in the room. They tiptoed around all of the issues. The fear has eased a little, but it's still there. It's still fresh enough. Emotionally, I can't imagine going out on a date again, or getting into a relationship again. I can't imagine being intimate. I'm afraid that if I put myself out there, it'll happen again.
I think the account speaks for itself. Main things I wanted to highlight was you will notice the controlling behavior of the spouse. So marital rape doesn't happen in isolation. The controlling behavior of a spouse to disqualify everything that she does and every contact that she does, people that she has. You heard from her the most painful experience, the most painful form of abuse and violence she experienced was the sexual abuse by her husband. She also said that abuse has driven a wedge between her and the people that's important in her life. Victims of abuse often find it very difficult to talk to others who may be supportive of them. You've also heard it takes a long time to heal. Dana talked about 15, 17 years as a time frame. Some don't recover from it. And the main difficulty that they have is the difficulty to trust others again. Why is marital rape such a big issue? Why is it more difficult, if you like? Well, it's an offense that's often repeated. It seldom happens as a single episode. It's an offense that comes in combination with other forms of abuse, of coercion. Very often the victims give in because they know that if they don't, the husband might take it out on the children. Or sometimes the husband will say, well, if you don't give me sex, then that's okay. I can always visit a prostitute. You will make me do it. And the greatest offense, I think, is that when there's a betrayal of a very important, intimate relationship, a trust relationship. I put here, societal condemnation may be weak. And when a person is a victim of a crime, and when they go out there and they feel that society somehow turns the other way, gives them the statement that, what's the big deal? I think it's also a second form of victimization that victims go through. I was asked some questions. All of us, I think, are given little questions. The incidence of marital rape. Well, the research, as you know, in the US, they are a little ahead of us, gives us an incidence of about 8 to 10% of people who are surveyed, women who are surveyed who have indicated that they've been sexually abused or raped in their relationship. In Singapore, well, the research has been very scant in this area. We hope there will be more forthcoming soon, but for now, it's not very available. One question was asked, can the police help? I think they can. We've worked with the police for this last 20 years looking at domestic violence. They can play a role, but we realize education needs to happen. We always say that the first door we need to break through when you want to deal with a problem like domestic violence is really the door that exists in our minds. The door that shuts out our thinking. I was asked a question, will criminalizing this offense weaken family bonds? And I said here, only if the bonds are meant to disempower, only if the bonds are meant to dehumanize a person, then it will weaken. I think marital bonds are bonds of love, are bonds of trust, are bonds of protecting one another. So I can't see how this will weaken the bonds. There's various perspectives that we can have. One perspective that you're missing is this fine young lady who's showing me all sorts of signs and all the speaker signs which tells us our time is up. So please, if you have questions, please ask them, but we'll have a time for questions. Right, thank you.